Am I the a-hole for not punishing my son for showing his boner to his aunt? I'm a single mom and I have a son who is 15. 2 days ago, my sister visited us in the evening. At that time, my son was sleeping in his room. His room is towards the back of the house, and to get to the bathroom, you have to pass by his room. After some small talk, my sister went to use the bathroom, but halfway there, she yelled. I ran up to her and she was pointing at my son's room, whose door was open. I peeked inside and my son had a boner in his sleep. He was still sleeping even through the yelling. He's a heavy sleeper. I immediately closed the door and told her to calm down, as it was unintentional and was natural for boys his age to have sleep boners. She insisted he was a pervert and was awake when she saw him. I could totally have seen like bro was beating that schmeat, and lo and behold, his aunt peeked in his room and bro's reaction was just, but like, even if that was the case, I don't think bro's a pervert. Hey man, he's 15, dog. I'll say it on behalf of all dudes everywhere. There wasn't much I wasn't doing other than beating my meat at 15 years old. I went back to his room and he still had a boner and had saliva out of his mouth. That's when I knew he really was asleep. I didn't bother waking him up. That's so easy to fake though, chat. Get this man a Netflix contract because bro knows how to act. I went back and told her that he really is asleep, but she didn't believe me and called it enabling behavior. She also said that I had a weird relationship with my son where I was comfortable with his genitals. I lost my shit at that and told her to get out. It's just not being stupidly naive. If you're a parent and you're like, my son is the second coming of Christ and there's no way he doesn't beat his meat. He would never get a boner while he's asleep, because that would never happen to my son, even though he's 15 and has more testosterone in his body than a fucking heroin addict with heroin in his veins. I don't know, guys. I don't know where I was going with that. She told my parents yesterday, and dad is on my side. He said that it's totally natural for a boy his age. Mom, though, told me I needed to take stricter action so it doesn't happen again. No boners. I swear, if you have a boner while you're sleeping ever again, why I yada. I told my son to start sleeping with his door closed, but there wasn't any punishment for him. Am I the a-hole? What punishment? What? That would be crazy to punish your son for his body doing something pretty much against his will. Like, bro, when I was 15, I was getting boners for like no good reason. A banana had like a slightly, no, wait, that's not the comparison. Chad, I don't know where I was going with that, all right? I just realized how extremely gay it was. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's definitely not the way I swing. Sorry, guys. I apologize if they're watching the YouTube video or the VOD and they're like, this is going off the fucking rails. TLDR, not the a-hole. I think it's very healthy for parents to go about this in a mature way that's just like, he's 15. Whether it was an accident or he was actually awake, that shit's gonna happen. Really, the only quote-unquote mistake that the son made was just not completely closing his door. And she corrected that. Edit, which is also an update. I spoke with my son. He knows about the situation and is embarrassed, to say the least. He, however, insisted that he'd close the door before sleeping. My sister is 30 and single. She had declared herself as asexual and has no interest in starting a family. She's been molested a few times in public transport, and men here are definitely horrendous. She'd been poked, groped, and flashed many times to the point she now avoids public transport. I don't use it because of this reason itself. Maybe this was a trigger for her actions. She'd been to my house several times in the past and had a good relationship with my son before. She definitely knew where the bathroom was. I called her up in a conference call with my parents and asked her directly why she'd gone peeking in our nephew's room without permission. According to her, she wanted to say hi, and then she saw it. She swore that she saw him with his eyes open and was touching himself through his pants. I called BS and told her he can do whatever he wanted in his own room, in his own house, as long as he was private. Yeah, you can't be like, oh, let me open this door. Oh no, he's doing something that he is allowed to do in private. Like, it's not like he like told his aunt to come in and was like, yeah, that's the stuff. Like, no, that would be weird. But bro was just trying to have some happy time. A 15-year-old is gonna have some of his happy time. If you want to go messing with his happy time, that's on you, girl. I also told her she needed therapy and not to contact me again without starting it. Cue angry words from her and tears from mom. I'm going no contact with her and low contact with mom. My son is smart for his age and understands everything. He's angry at his aunt and mighty embarrassed too, but he swore he wasn't doing anything. I believe him. Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna admit that he was stroking the schmeat, you know, but even if he was, like, I am dying on the hill of, like, if you're a 15-year-old guy, there is not much that you're doing other than stroking the schmeat, you know?